Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jumper. Today I'll be reviewing Super Mario Wonder, which was released on the Nintendo Switch on the 20th of October of this year. Now, the main plot of this game is that Mario and his friends are in the Flower Kingdom, and they're interacting with this character called Prince Florian. It's one of the names, and Bowser interrupts the whole party ceremony thing and steals this power up called the Wonder Flower, in which he merges with it along with his ship or his clown car and the castle that I think the prince lives in. And in order to basically beat Bowser, you have to collect these various seeds called the royal seeds that have been scattered around the various worlds in the Flower Kingdom, and you have to basically beat Bowser. And it's a Mario game. It's pretty similar to every other Mario game. So overall, the plot is interesting. It's very it's different from the previous Mario games. It's kind of like the whole. It's kind of like games like Mario 3D World and Mario Bowser's Fury, yeah, where we don't see Bowser kidnapping Peach. It's more like a different sort of thing that's happening in a particular part of the world that Mario and his friends stumble upon, whether that's Bowser using the power of all these Brixie fairies, or Bowser becoming a giant monster form of himself. And now with Mario Wonder, he's basically because he's merged with the flower, his clown car, and the palace. He's basically this giant super palace clown car with his face on it, and that's really fun and interesting and fascinating, because you don't really get to see that kind of transformation, because you don't really see Bowser transforming a whole lot. Yes, he has been huge in some games like Mario Galaxy 2, Mario 3D World, where he becomes a cat or Meowser, and in Bowser's Fury, when he becomes that giant Godzilla version of himself. But you don't really see that with real other games. But in Mario Wonder, it's such a cool and interesting transformation. And the game itself is also really fun because Mario Wonder follows the structure from previous Mario games like the DS game or the new Mario Bros games for the DS, the Wii U, Switch, as well as the original games. Because you got you go from level to level, going from one end of a stage to the end, getting the flagpole, moving on to the next level, that sort of thing. But there are about 6 worlds, 6.5, give or take, because you've got about 5 worlds they can go to. You've got the main part of the world itself, because there's this bit in the game where you can go to any of the other worlds, as soon as you get enough of these things called Wonder Seeds, because the Wonder Seeds you can find about 2 or 3, depending on which level you're playing, throughout each level. So you get 2, one from Wonder Seeds, and another one from getting the flagpole, and those are your main ways of progressing to the next level, or mainly the various levels plus the castle. And yeah, it kind of reminds me of 3D World in the sense that you had to try and collect all the green stars to find the boss and stuff like that. And yeah, I think the Wonder Seeds are a nice collectible to find in the game, because not only can you find them in each level, but you also need them to progress the game. And yeah, and especially when it comes to the different worlds you can go in the game, because this kind of takes the Mario World approach to it, where we're in Mario World or in Super Mario 3D World. With that game, the worlds were sort of semi-open in the sense that you could go to any of the levels in any order, depending on how many stars green stars you had. Like the green stars, they were necessary to get the boss, but with the worlds themselves, you could basically go in any order you want in terms of the levels, and it's similar to Mario Wonder, and it brings a lot of charm to the series because it brings back a lot of the same things we've seen in previous 2D games, but it feels fresh and unique, and it we don't need to no longer call it Super Mario Bros. 100 or something, because we've had so many new Super Mario Bros. Games over the last few years or a long time, that with Mario Wonder it just feels fresh and new, and it brings a whole lot of new and cool ideas. And now it's time for some gameplay. So like in Super Mario 3D World, you can choose from a variety of characters, and I would say this is probably the largest roster of characters in a 2D-esque Mario game, because in previous Mario games where you get to choose characters, it's mainly been Mario, Luigi, and a different coloured Toad, like red, blue, yellow. Those are the main colours, and maybe Toadette. I think in the Switch version of Mario Bros. U, and it also had Nabbit. So that was about 6 characters, and now now we can play as Peach and not the Toads, the Yoshis and Daisy. That's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 characters. So, and even though you can put the princesses together, the Toads, the Yoshis together, that's still 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's still about 6 characters, but pretty still the largest roster. So I'm going to go as Mario for now. And also, I don't think I've mentioned this in the main review. This is the first game to not have Charles Martinet voice Mario or Luigi, because he has stepped down, but now he's become the Mario ambassador, which I think is really cool, even though I don't know what that means. So for Martinet being Mario ambassador, Charles Martinet still gets to travel around the world and just spread the goodness of Mario, I guess. So that's really cool. So the main worlds, I think I've said this before, are like Mario 3D World, in the sense that they are semi-open, in the sense that you can basically walk around, and any levels that aren't on a fixed path, so like this one, you can do in any order, which I think is really cool. And they all have different difficulties. So this one has 3 stars, another one has 4 stars, 2 stars, and yeah, I think that's really cool. And now I'm going to show you a level, and yeah, and I do like how each world has each unique thing. So like for this one, because this is a sort of deserty level, this has like, it's desert themed, so it's like, it's basically a desert. You get hot, that sort of thing. Yeah. Oh, elephant, nice. So yeah, I think the game as a whole is very different to like the other games, like other 2D games, like the Switch version or the Wii version or the DS game, because I don't know how to explain it, because like it just feels fresh and new, and I like that. And I do like how whenever Elephant Mario gets water, his trunk will just grow. Well, will be larger a bit, and you can use it on any of the dry plants that you see around the levels, and now it doesn't power up. And there are some like unique like hidden blocks, so that's quite cool. And when it comes to badges, when it comes to certain abilities from the badges, if you press the right shoulder button, you can activate the abilities. Also, there's talking flowers, which I think is quite cool. Yeah. So the levels themselves are basically that of like any other 2D game. It's just go from start to finish. And oh yeah, also there are wonder flowers, which is really unique. I think I would quite like, because it's all about just this is going at double speed. Okay, so yeah, each wonder flower has their own unique thing. So for this one, for example, everything is in double time. Oh no! Before I go with my power up. So yeah, that's how a wonder flower is done. Ooh. Okay. So yeah, that was the thing before. Each level is basically like the same as like the other 2D games we've gotten, like the one for the Mario Bros for the DS, the Wii U version, the Switch version even, and yeah. But what I think what makes this game different is the different in art style, the way this level does, the way this level does different, like it brings in like the new power ups and stuff, and okay. So yeah, it's like you have to really think on when it comes to the wonder flower effects. Just really think on how to use each ability to the best of their abilities. And once you've got a wonder seed from the particular effect, everything would go back to normal. And now, end of the level, and you'll see these sort of toad houses sort of things, where once you've been in the level for the first time, they will change because Bowser took them over. They'll go from like a Bowser level house thing to a toad house, and you also get these sort of like little postcards at the end. So I think that's cool. So that's been it for the gameplay. Now it's time to go back to the review. So with the game, it brings some new power-ups or some different versions of power-ups. Like we get like 3 new power-ups. That being the elephant mushroom, the bubble flower, and the spin mushroom. Now the spin mushroom is kind of like the spin item in Mario Galaxy 2, where with that power-up, you could dig into the ground and come up the other side. And with the drill mushroom, it's similar, where you can like break certain objects, and you can even go onto the ground, on the floor, or on the ceiling, which is really cool and unique. Because with power-ups, it's just basic, and it does help, but it might not get you very far sometimes, and depending on how many enemies there are on the screen and stuff like that. But with the spin mushroom or the drill mushroom, basically you are a walking hazard until you're hit by an enemy, because this item can finally help against enemies that are on the floor, or not on the floor. Well, they do help on the floor, but mainly on the ceiling, because there are some enemies that can go on the ceiling and just drop onto you and just go towards you and stuff like that. So that item really helps. The bubble flower lets you use an unlimited amount of bubbles, and each time a bubble hits an enemy, they basically disappear and turn into a coin. And you can also use these bubbles as sort of an extra platform. It sort of says like if there's a particular pit you're about to fall into, you can use a bubble to jump on and then get to the other side safely. And then finally, the elephant mushroom, which is I think the main focal point of the game, or one of the main parts of the game, because it turns Mario and his friends into elephants, which is a really cool and interesting power. But it's a really cool transformation because I don't think we've seen something like this since probably Mario 3D World, where with that game we had the cat bell, where it turned Mario into a cat. Well, it gave him a cat suit, but with the elephant mushroom, it makes Mario and everyone else just elephants, like actual elephants, not having their face or having them being put into like this sort of elephant costume. No, they're actually elephants, and that's so cool. And what they can do is like just hit blocks that might be able to that might not be within reach. They can also break objects, and also can soak up water in their trunks, which is a really cool and I would say useful ability because they can help with certain parts of the level, and they can also get you coins and stuff like that. And yeah, I think it's a really cool and really just a fun ability. And I would say the main item that is used throughout the game is the Wonder Flower. Now, the Wonder Flower can be found within each level, and basically what this item does is gives the level a sort of trippy effect. So like each of the levels is uniquely different. So there might be a level where everything's on the ceiling, or the pipes move on their own like worms, or you'll be given, or there'll be a horde of enemies just rushing towards you. And that particular item is so cool, and it's so fun to use whenever you find it in a particular part of the level. And the only way to get rid of it or to stop its effects is either getting the Wonder Fruit, which always happens if you, depending on which ones you get, the time runs out because some of the effect of the Wonder Flower has a time limit, about 30 seconds to 50 seconds or so, and you just losing a life, just getting hit by an enemy or falling down a pit. Those are the main effects that that can get rid of the Wonder Flower effect. But you can get it again if you do lose a life and you aren't able to get to the Wonder Seed in time. So yeah, and also another thing that's in the game are badges. Now the badges are a kind of like an extra move or an extra ability that you can get. So with the characters you have, like with Mario, Luigi, the Toads, Peach, Daisy, the Yoshis, and Nabbit, they all have their own abilities. So Mario, he's the all-rounder. He's Mario. Luigi can jump higher. Peach and Daisy, they can float. The Toads, they can run faster. Yoshi, they've got their jump, air, kick thing. Nabbit, he can just store items and stuff like that. And with the badges, they give each character a different ability. So like, there's a badge that can let you glide for a bit, a more floatier jump. There's an ability that can make you sort of do like a consecutive jumps, kind of like it just like jump like that. And the list goes on. There's a lot of badges you can collect, and there are certain courses that you can do that gives you certain badges, or use a certain badge that you might have collected just so you can get some practice in with them. And yeah, I really enjoy these kinds of levels because there are bonus levels in the game, and these are some awesome bonus levels. Some of them are just, oh, just find the Wonder Seed or something, or collect all of these medallion things to collect the Wonder Seed. And some of the others are the badge levels, and these badge levels, as well as the Wonder Seed specific levels, are really fun, and they feel right at home in this game, and it just feels awesome, and it feels very much different to the other two the other 2D games, because with let's say the New Super Mario Bros. For the DS, that game is fun, and I do enjoy doing some of the other stuff, some of the stuff that you can do in the game, like playing as Mini Mario to get into extra worlds in some of the boss fights, needing a certain amount of coin stars or star coins to unlock additional levels, that sort of thing. But with Mario Wonder, with these bonus levels, they are really fun just to go around in here and there, just enjoying what each bonus level has to offer. And yeah, I think they're really awesome, man. And if there is another Mario Wonder sequel, I do hope these bonus levels make a return in some way, and we get like new badges and stuff like that, so we can experiment with more. So overall, I'd say that Mario Wonder is a really fun game. It's one of those games that just feels right at home, and it feels like a fresh coat of paint within the Mario series. So yeah, and I think it's a good sort of like departure, but also continuation of the new Super Mario Bros. Games, because the Mario Wonder does have a lot of elements that are from the New Super Mario Bros. Games, but it has its own style and its own different flavor to it, give or take. That it just feels like its own thing and stuff like that. So yeah, overall, it's a really enjoyable game. I highly suggest you go and play this game when you have the time. So that's been my review for New Super Mario Wonder. I enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.